Down in the comments, just mad at myself for spending and not investing. Another one added, saying next check I'm going to do better. In today's topic, we're talking uncontrollable spending. Let's get into it.
Guys, I can't stop spending money and treating myself. Every time there's money in my account, I want to spend it. I can't stop. Why is shopping so fun? I just want to spoil myself every day.
Then somebody added, why is shopping more exciting than actually having the product when you get home? Well, if we all had our way, we would just spend up everything. But you do have to save. You do have responsibilities. That's part of being an adult.
My wife has a habit of spending constantly, and she pretty much goes through all of the income that we have in a month.
Bob, when you say that, I mean, you're saying that she's spending the whole paycheck. I mean, would you think it's a level of addiction? Would you go that far?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And has she gotten help for it besides you just telling her not to? Okay, why not?
Yeah. We've had numerous discussions on it.
Because you're not going to change her. She has to do the work to understand what is happening for her, because it's a real thing. I mean, we see that more often than, it's becoming more and more common, I feel like. So why has she not taken steps to find healing in this?
The strange thing is she knows that she's the problem to our problem, and she's always feeling sorry for it. But when the income comes in, she goes out and she spends, and she doesn't look at what she's spending.
How old are you two?
She's 78, and I'm going to be 73 in the next couple of weeks.
Bob, why don't you just take her? Like, she can't have access to the money. Like, if it's an addiction like this is what we would tell couples, is to say the one that is struggling does not get access to money because she has a spending addiction. And you would say, all right, we're going to have X amount for groceries. And when you go to the grocery store, then here's the amount you have. But she doesn't get access to the checking account. And Bob, for her sake, too, she needs to go get help for it, because she's not a whole person. Like, there is a level there that is eroding her quality of life, who she is as a person, and who she's going to be as a wife. I'm like, you're getting someone who's not functioning. None of us are fully, but there is a very obvious issue there that she's just not addressing head on. Like, the financial side is one thing, Bob, but if that's my spouse, I'm like, I want her to get healing. I want her to understand what's going on and to find, peace in this.
In the comments, a wife with a spending addiction? You don't say. I have an answer. Stop giving her the money. Put it in a bank account. Yeah, I really see this as being an issue, especially for those couples that don't like to say no to each other, right? Those husbands, they like to say yes to the wife, right? A happy wife, happy life type of approach. Yeah, this is where you have to cut all that out. Or you're going to have someone who has a spending problem, and that trickles down to you. This may be a tough discussion to have, but it's very much worth having. This is your finances. She's going to have to hear that no. And of course, getting into the holiday spending, we just had the 4th. There's a lot of people that unnecessarily spend money when the holidays come around.
I might just be getting old here. I'm getting all crotchety on the inside. Maybe. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not a big fan of the 4th of July. Now, keep in mind, I love what the holiday stands for our freedom and us as a country. I love that part. But I just don't like the 4th of July. One, I feel like people do stupid things on the 4th of July. Way too many incidents of people being drunken idiots. Two, I think it's the biggest waste of money ever. Literally just watching your money blow up in front of your face. That sounds like the worst investment of all time. And then 3, I'm trying to sleep. I'm old, remember? I'm crotchety. I want to go to bed. People are lighting off fireworks until 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not fun. Now, again, this is my opinion, but I don't know. It's just wild to me. Wild take for the holiday of what it's supposed to mean, and yet we're just going to light up all of our money for freedom. That's a weird way to celebrate freedom in my eyes. I don't know, but yeah, what do you guys think?
I'm just not trying to literally blow my money. At least let me go to a casino. That way I have a chance to get it back, maybe. Casinos are another topic in itself. I think you're better off doing something else with that money. It's okay to celebrate when the holidays come around. You just have to do it responsibly. It's very possible to have fun during the holidays or these celebrations without spending a ton of money. It is. People do it all the time.
When did fireworks shows get so crazy expensive? So I was like looking at what to do for 4th of July for my family, and my husband was telling me about this fireworks show that they do here in town, and so I looked it up. Most of the seats are gone, which, I mean, granted, it is kind of last minute. The seats available, and I'm not even talking like front, because it's like a concert venue, $271 per seat. Not total, per seat for a fireworks show. That's going to be a hard pass for me, but have fun.
Then someone down in the comments said, I've never paid for a fireworks show. Yeah, what's crazy is you're going to be charged what you're willing to pay. Guaranteed, if no one showed up to these things, they would have to rethink everything. You have to draw the line somewhere, or someone's going to be drawing it for you. Whatever you're willing to pay, someone's going to charge you, man. It's just the way things kind of work.
If you're constantly spending money you don't have, this might be why. You're exhausted, you're chronically stressed, and you're just trying to get through your day. So you buy a $6 coffee, you grab breakfast on the way to work, and you order DoorDash or takeout at night. Not because you're irresponsible, but because you don't have the energy or capacity for anything else. That's not a discipline problem, it's just what happens when your nervous system is fried. When your life drains you, you spend money just to cope. So the real question isn't, why can't I stop spending? It's, why is my life so unbalanced that I feel like I need to keep doing things that hurt me in the long run?
This is exactly right. When you're exhausted, it's hard to eat right, exercise, or do anything that requires energy. Someone else said, nope, I am the king of cheapskates. This is how I could live the optimal life on minimal money and be completely satisfied. Hey, look, we understand that, everyone has busy schedules. Yes, understanding that a lot of us are just ripping and running every day and don't have time to make food. There's certain steps like meal prep can help you avoid things like this, where you're unnecessarily spending money, right? Because you don't have the time. But if you have something prepared beforehand, you avoid this situation, right? Now, this is money you don't have to spend on food that's not healthy for you, right? Just trying to eat on the go or just trying to put something in your stomach after a long day. There's certain things you can do to help you out. Not many, but there is.
I don't buy anything anymore unless it passes this test. I call this smart girl purchasing to avoid overconsumption and overspending on unnecessary items that only bring a quick dopamine hit, or put that money towards saving or investing. And I thought we could go over the rules together in case you want to do this challenge too. First things first, let's go over the rules, and then I will go over the questions that I asked myself. First rule right here. When you find something that you like, you're going to take a screenshot of it, and you're going to either move it into an album on your phone, or you're going to go on Canva and put it on a page. This is going to serve as a virtual wish list or mood board, and then that item must stay there for at least 7 days. You can't purchase it, you can't think about it. It has to stay there for 7 days. But then after 7 days have passed, you are then allowed to move on to the series of questions that I'm going to review here for you in just a second. And one thing that I want to note, which is right here, if it is a beauty product, you must use up every single thing that you already own in that category. For example, I say right here, if you already own 3 blushes, you don't need another blush. Use up the blushes that you already own. Okay? Most important part, these are the questions that you are going to ask yourself before you are allowed to purchase that item. Let me move out of the way so you can take a picture of these. First question, if I were to go to this website and the item is sold out, would I be utterly devastated, or would I be sad for like 2 seconds and then move on to the next item? If utterly devastated, then yeah, it's going to pass to the next question. If you're sad for all of 3 seconds and you move on to the next item, then we move on to the next item. It gets removed from your wish list. The second question, do I already own something similar? If no, it automatically passes to the next question. If yes, then I ask myself, but is it about to run out, or have I completely worn out the item? For example, these pair of sneakers that I own, I've worn them so much that they're like falling apart. So I'm allowed to repurchase them if I want to. that would be an example of it's okay for it to pass to the next question. But if you already have something similar, it's not about to wear out, it's not about to run out, it doesn't pass to the next question, you need to remove it from your wish list. Number 3, is it a good quality item? Meaning, is it made of good material or ingredients, and is it going to last you a long time? 4, is this item trendy or timeless? I feel like a lot of people who participate in overconsumption really struggle with hopping into trends. I personally am only buying stuff that is timeless and is going to last me several years. I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. And this even applies for beauty products and treatments. As I put here, is this something that I could see in my forever rotation? Is it appropriate for me? If anything, whether it's a product, a piece of clothing, a treatment, if any of it falls in the realm of just being trendy, then I'm not purchasing it. Number 5, is it practical for my lifestyle? I use myself as an example here. I'm a self-employed person who works from home. Do I really need going out clothes, or is my money gonna go better towards higher quality athleisure or loungewear? Just an example that you can ask yourself. Moving right along, again, let me move out of the way so you can take a picture. Number 6, will it yield good results or the outcomes that I am hoping for? Essentially, is it worth the cost? And if I am unsure, then I don't completely remove it from my wish list. I just backtrack and I do more research. If results or research is not promising, then I remove it from my wish list. Number 7, will this item/treatment be flattering on me? Will it boost my confidence and make me feel hotter? Again, will it look good on me specifically, or is the model just hot and it looks good on the model? Number 8, now we've kind of passed to the point of you probably are okay with purchasing it. So now you can ask yourself the questions, is the item even currently in stock? If so, am I able to find it on Depot or Poshmark? Is there a promo code? Is there a sale going on? Essentially, when you're asking yourself these questions, is it worth the full price? If your answer is no, then you probably don't need to purchase that product. Lastly, if it is a beauty treatment, can it safely and effectively be done at home, and is it more cost effective? I am a plastic surgery nurse and aesthetic nurse, so I'm very comfortable with doing treatments at home. I think this is incredibly important with like getting your nails done. Can you do your nails at home? Why do you need that pedicure if you can do it at home? Brow lamination, lash lift and tint, hair extensions, microneedling, laser hair removal. I would say if it can safely and effectively be done at home, it's probably better to just do it at home yourself.
My problem is I'm addicted to Vinted and everything sells out literally in hours. Another one said, if I want something, I have to get it like yesterday. What do you mean wish list? You can come across a bunch of these that are trying to help you find ways not to overspend. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you. I mean, you can have all the advice in the world, but it ultimately comes down to you when no one's around. It's a discipline you have to have. So, these tips and things you could do, this is great. This is good. It's definitely a start, but it's going to come down to you. If you don't have the self-control, none of this is going to work.
I have a goal of reaching 300,000 in savings by the end of this year. I know it's very ambitious, but I feel like if I cut out these 5 common things a lot of people waste money on, including me, I can actually reach that. The first is food delivery apps, and I'm actually going to expose myself because in the month of May, I spent almost £200. Now, this is a little out of character for me, but since I moved to Manchester, I've been spending a lot more on takeouts and food delivery apps. I think that's just because I've been living by myself. Number 2 is dates, and this is a bit of a controversial take, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone else agrees with me. There's a lot of guys, including me, that have wasted money when it comes to dates, but I feel like I fit somewhere in the middle. I'm not someone to suggest a walk or a coffee for a first date, because I feel like as a guy, you need to put in a little bit more effort than that. At the same time, I would no longer take a girl out to like a high-end fancy restaurant or a bar for a first date. If you're genuinely trying to meet someone and you end up going on like 2-3 dates a month, then that could easily add up to quite a bit of money. Number 3 is cutting down on impulse buys. Now, this is something that's a big part of my ADHD, and it's something I've been dealing with since I was probably 6 or 7. I've realized over the last year or so, I have let it get way out of control. For example, when I first moved here, I got into running. I started off with 1 pair of running shoes, and somehow now I have 6 or 7. So to get around this next time, I'm gonna give myself 3 months. So if I'm still doing that hobby or sport 3 months later, then I will allow myself to have 1 purchase. Number 4 is coffee. Now, I'm not the biggest coffee drinker in the world. My mum and sister are, so I hope you're watching this video. But even if I buy 3 or 4 coffees a week, that adds up to about £15. And over the year, that's going to be about £800. And for me, that just sounds like a complete waste of money. So instead now, luckily, there is a coffee machine in my building. So sometimes I will use that, or I will just make a coffee at home. And if I'm doing that, then it just costs like 30p a cup. Number 5, and I can't believe I've let this one go for so long, but subscriptions. Now, I'm not just talking about Netflix or Disney. Looking at my phone, I realized I could cancel pretty much all of these. I'm paying for things like CapCut, ChatGPT, iCloud, LensBuddy, Paramount, Runner, Strava, Tinder, a VPN service. 9 out of 10 of these could probably be cancelled. If you're someone that's looking to save money, you should also think about cutting down or completely removing them from your lifestyle, because you could literally save hundreds, if not thousands of pounds a month.
Look, it's so easy to spend money now, man. Various ways in which you could spend it. There's dating. People are into fitness. I mean, it's all types of things that are waiting for you to spend that money. Just understand that you just can't have everything, obviously, right? Budget out some things you could get for yourself and some things you can't get. Maybe not right away. But if you have to work hard for this money and you spend it on certain things, look up and realize you didn't even have to buy that or get that item. It could really be bothersome, man, because you spend time at work and you want to spend it on something that's important, right? Something that really matters, not just a spare of the moment purchase.
You don't have a money problem. You have a spending problem. Think about it. Does your face really need that $300 moisturizer? Do you really need a shiny new phone every single year? How much money are you spending on DoorDash and, like I mentioned, Starbucks? It's ridiculous. Start saving money. Cook your own food, for God's sakes. Do what we used to do when we grew up. Take a bag lunch. Take a sandwich, put it in a paper bag, and take it to lunch. Cut your expenses is the key. Not making more money, cutting your expenses and spending less. Broke people are spending money to get a dopamine hit in their brain. Rich people understand the value of long-term thinking. Trust me, your face doesn't need that $300 moisturizer.
I was going to order Starbucks and just close the app. Thanks for this. But then you'll have someone else that says, life is short. No, thank you. I love shopping and have shiny things. I don't like to torture myself to save a couple of dollars. And that sounds like that could be the very difference between you elevating to the next level and staying where you're at. It's your ability to save your money and hold on to it. Now, there's a lot of folks out there with a spending addiction, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with the fact that you don't have money. It's how you choose to spend the money you have, however much or how little it is. I mean, it all comes down to how you decide to spend the money that you make. That could be the very difference. Finally getting that house, finally getting that car, finally taking that vacation. You'd be surprised how far you would take the little bit of money that you think you make. If you know how to budget it, that little bit could take you a long way. And I think that's what he's trying to say here. That's the difference between those who make it to the next level, to a better living, and those who stay stagnant and get stuck in the same spot because you can't control how you spend the money you get as soon as you get it. Unnecessary items, purchase things to get a high. And once you get them home, you realize that you didn't really have to make the purchase. It just made you feel good in that moment. These are things we have to realize if we want to get better with the money that we're making. If you care about holding on to it, it's another nice topic to get into, man. Leave everything in the comments section, man. This has been it for this one. Until the next one.